Hello everyone, how y'all doing? Welcome to another video. This is the Demoscene Report for the month of October 2022. As always, I went through everything that I could find from the Demoscene on this previous month, condensed everything into this single video. Also, there's a playlist on the description below with all of the entries that you can check out. There were a lot of parties happening on this month, and this video alone is only covering part 2 of October, so it's only half of it. So a lot of things happened in October in the Demoscene. Let's get right into it so we don't spend any more time. So Demoscene Report of October 2022. Let's get started with the Demoscene related media that happened this month. So the first thing that I wanted to highlight is the October 2022 update release chat for cables.gl. Cables.gl is this framework on the browser that you can use graphical programming to do visuals, and a lot of Demosceners been using it to do their demos, and it's released this new update. It has a very good quality of life usability improvements, and if you use cables, you should definitely check it out. And if you don't know cables, this might be a good introduction as well to the world of cables. Then we had the Commodordion by LFT, one of the most shared items. One of the most shared items that happened this month. A lot of people posting this in every single Demoscene Discord that I was checking. LFT doing his magic again, turning Commodores, or doing an accordion out of Commodores to play chiptunes in full-length video, performing different tracks and stuff. So definitely worth checking it out. Then Wilby did this thing, which was to make an official release of the Demovibes on YouTube with the actual demos in the middle of the queue. Like, it's the original Demovibes mixtapes, but you actually have the visuals from the original demos shown. So not the hacky thing that I had done on my own YouTube channel, just putting the cover of Demovibes. He actually edited all the different videos together and cross-faded them and stuff like that along with the music. So very good introduction to the Demoscene. Shows the potential in a way that it's easy to consume, easy to listen, easy to share to other people. So highly recommend you check out. And he made, like, for all, you can see already the playlist here, he did for all of the volumes, so all 14 volumes already mixed. So make sure you bookmark this playlist and share it with your friends. More stuff that happened this month. There was this scene drama thread. TRSi released a 0-day Amiga game that Hoffman was somehow involved in. He did music for the game. There was this whole thread on Poet discussing the different things about it. And the thread was interesting for different reasons. First of all, it exposed, the wear scene that still happens, or the piracy scene that still happens, somehow adjacent to the Demoscene. It's not the same people who are Demosceners who are doing these 0-day releases of piracy stuff. Does it even make sense to do piracy stuff for vintage computers that hardly anyone buys games for anymore? People just do it for nostalgia's sake, but developers in this case have spent like a year working on their production to have it leaked on the first day. They got a little upset about it. In the end, there was some back and forth, and people discussing if it makes sense, if it doesn't make sense. We have seen this discussion many times in the past. The interesting thing that happened in the end was that the developer of the game itself then hacked the machine or where the BBS was hosted, or one of the BBSs, the main headquarter BBS for TRSi, where the game was being spread illegally. He got the IP from the machines, he got into them, he downloaded the whole content from the thing, and he released it online, which was meant as a fuck you to the BBS people, but at the same time it released sensitive information from the users of the BBS, who are not necessarily doing anything illegal just by being on the BBS. And this was like this BBS has been around for many years, so there were a lot of sensitive information there that could potentially be sensitive to some people. So yeah, it's also probably illegal, but I guess, fight illegal stuff with more illegal stuff. Definitely escalated the situation, but let's see where it goes. Anyways, worth mentioning, not a good, how do you say, it's not a good example of the way you should respond, but at the same time, it really sucks to see something that you've been working on for many months of your life to just be totally dismissed by people who don't even value your work properly. Anyways, let's move on to better things. You can read about the soap opera if you want at the thread. A couple more releases of the Arcade Flashback program. An entire edition dedicated to the tracks from Deadline 2022, and then a more generic one released with different top lists of people. Both episodes released this month or later this month, hosted by DJ Demon as usual. Then we had a cafe party, which had this very interesting behind-the-scenes party report of some sort. So, a series of videos, short videos, just showing what cafe party is like physically, which was interesting for me because I'd never been to cafe parties, so it was interesting to see how it looks compared to other European parties. Pharmageddon was a write-up, was a demo released at TRSi, and Gasman wrote a write-up on how they did the entire demo. It was one of the highlights of TRSi. They built the whole thing. It was a demo running on a pharmacy sign, for those who don't know, and they actually built the pharmacy sign from scratch with some electronics and a Raspberry Pi, I believe. And yeah, they had a custom video player and some different stuff. And you can read all about it on this little write-up that Gasman put together. A very interesting read to check out. Other stuff that happened also, Cookie Collective had some events happening in Paris. One of them was a workshop for initiating to get into shader coding. It's in French only, sadly, for people who are not French or cannot understand French, but it gives a nice introduction into shader coding, mostly done with Shader Toy, so you learn the basics of shader coding. Which is really cool, and if you have learned something with shader coding on this particular workshop, you can still submit to come to Initial Demo Party and participate at the Shader Royale. We need more live shader coders to ensure that we break the attendance record from previous years. What else? Oh yeah, today, if you're watching this on the day that it was released, there will be a talk, Demoscene talk / demo show at 7:30 in Berlin called Zeiss-Großplanetarium. So I guess it's in the planetarium. And Bodo Rabenauge will have a talk about the history of the demo scene with some visual examples of demos and stuff. So this is the website where you can check more information about it. And if you're in Berlin, go check it out. And last but not least, there was this new episode released at Scene World. I sometimes feature Scene World, I sometimes don't feature Scene World. I only feature Scene World when it's somehow more demo scene related and not so much games related. ATARI scene is pretty much interesting for the demo scene in my humble opinion. And this episode in particular features an interview with Joseph Lewandowski, who is, as you can read here, is doing selling some stuff taken from the ATARI dig. They already had an episode talking with them before, and this is a follow-up on that because he's putting more stuff up available for sale. And also there's a story with Richard Griffith, or an interview with Richard Griffith, who restores ATARI consoles, which also might be interesting if you're into recovering ATARI consoles. And I believe that is it for this section of the demo scene related media. Let's move on to the next section, which is the out of Compo releases that happened this year. Let's switch back to the next screen. The first thing that I wanted to highlight to you was the Acorn Archimedes port of Shrinkler decompressor made by Kieran. It's available for download. If you're planning to do stuff for the Archimedes, you should probably get this. Another thing they should probably get if you want to have good packers is UPKR, I guess it's called. UPKR was made originally by Micro W8, but there's an unpacker, depacker, not sure how you call it, both for i86 and Z80. And performance comparisons with other packers have shown that this gives slightly better results in some cases. So check it out. It might be useful for your entries, and it's faster than the other packers as far as I could understand. I haven't tried it myself, but I read a lot of the developers talking about it back and forth. So it seems very interesting. Do check it out. Link on the description as well as everything else. What else was released outside Compos? There was NectaDOOR by DW. A door thing for BBSs released in 2022. People still still promoting BBS software these days. So I thought it was worth mentioning. Then we had In Memory of Maf release by Cocoon, in memory of Maf, who passed away this month. Crapbox -15 by Electronics Night, demo pack with latest releases for the Amiga. And then there's the 15, not the -15, which has the good stuff from this year, I believe, for September, October 2022 as well. What else? Toback released an album on Bandcamp called Tunage. It has all the tracks that he's been doing on the last couple of years. Some stuff has been quite highlighted in the demo scene as of late, so I thought it would be worth mentioning. And then a sneaky release of the demo scene outside any compo was a Mosary for the ATARI XCSL, made specifically for the Abuk magazine 150th anniversary issue. So you have to actually get the physical magazine to get the intro. So if you collect weird intros, obscure intros, good luck for getting this one. I hope you got the magazine in subscription. And that's it for the out of Compo releases. Let's move on to the parties, which there happened quite a lot of, as I mentioned before. The first one that I wanted to highlight was a CAF party that happened in Russia, in Kazan in Russia. 21st to 23rd of October, so the end part of October. And Cafe was pretty much the biggest demo party happening in Russia for the last 2 years, because Chaos Constructions didn't happen. I think there was Demodulate also last year physically during COVID times, but Cafe was like a return to big demo party. And considering the whole situation with Ukraine, Russia has been such a weird place to live in lately. So it was surprising that they had so many entries and so much people attending, which is good. But yeah, anyways, let's talk about demo scene and not political war nonsense. They had a lot of competitions, as they usually have at CAF, which I'm not a personal fan of, but it's their thing. So let's see the results. 1K Procedural Graphics was won by D-Art. They have a ringtone competition as well. Amiga Demo Compo was won by Substructure by Venom. Venom is a fairly recent group in the Amiga, made by some Belarusian people and Russian people and Georgian people, I believe. And they're doing stuff for the Amiga, which is interesting. Fake game screenshots, also a very funny category. They make graphics like cover graphics of, or a screenshot graphics of a game that doesn't really exist. The winner entry was for a ZX Spectrum version of Monument Valley. It's funny. All the other entries were pretty cool. It was a very cute compo, interesting compo, and so people really put some effort into coming up with a concept and doing like some actual. They really thought things through, which was really cool to see. Then we had the Fantasy Console demo intro combined, which was won by eArt as well, with an entry for the micro W8, which was really cool. Marquee Design got second place, and then some stuff for the TIC-80 as well. I believe Marquee's design intro was both for the Pico 8 and the TIC-80. He optimized it for both. Then we had the game Compo, which was won by the Goonies for the BK0011M, with Merge very, very close second. You can see the votes here. Gravedigger Compo also happened. The high-end 256 bytes was won by GeneX. GeneX has been doing a lot of good 256 byte intros on this last couple of years, so it's really cool. The high-end 32 executable music, only 3 entries, not much activity. High-end intro compo, also not much activity, but the winner was quite good. Just simple tube amplifier. 64K, but it had like guitar sounds in it, which is not trivial to do on with the soft synth, and the visuals were all about tube amplifiers, as it's mentioned in the titles. Very aptly themed, well executed, so well done, Fox, and it got quite a lot of votes as well, as you can see. The low-end 256 byte intro was won by Marquee Design, doing something for the ATARI. Low-end 4K only had one intro for the Spectrum, Kills in My Mind. Low-end demo had a kick-ass demo back to the pet for the Commodore pet. I highly recommend you checking it out. Ridiculous amount of work, extremely taking very good advantage of the limitations of the machine, like some effects that make complete sense and really take full advantage of the machines. It's a real good example of a demo, what the demo scene is about, like taking a platform, thinking what the hell can I do with this that it's not just the usual effect, and putting it on its back and taking the most advantage out of the limitations that you have. Highly recommend checking back to the pet. Also some stuff for the Vector 06C, which is not as common for us to see some releases for. It's a Russian-based platform. There are several clones of it, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I believe I am correct. Then we had the Modern Graphics competition, which was won by with Robot Queen entry. Looks like Photoshop or Affinity Designer. Old school music compo with a lot of ZX Spectrum taking world domination there. The Last Grunge by C. Jeff 1. Old school pixel art, also very high quality stuff. A lot of entries. Old school text mode graphics, which include ANSI, ASCII, and Patsky, and that kind of stuff. The winner entry was also very long, good ANSI art by D-Man. Very well done. Lot of stuff. Homage to Kirby. What else? The old school wild pixel art, also a lot of entries. The winner plays also by D-Man, DeLorean. Very good event. Like you can barely notice the chunks, the 8x8 pixels on which is the main limitation of doing graphics on the ZX Spectrum, and you can't really tell like any real zone where that seems like a barrier. So very well done. Tight compo overall. I guess I will play the second entry as well. Here in higher resolution. Probably ×2 or ×4. So yeah, good quality stuff. Then they had a one scene compo, which is having a single scene for the entire demo. Zip Crew one with least minute. They had another graphics competition, which is a multicolor special block multicolor mode they call it 53C mode. Was won by Uris. You can see here the entries. What else? Tracked music competition won by Slash. Wild animation video was won by this Ring parody with some Spectrum stuff, which was actually funny. He had a lot of Russian dialogue, which we didn't understand, but I guess it follows the original Ring movie, so I guess it should be relatively easy to get some subtitles for that. Anyways, it was funny, and I guess I kind of understood why it won. The rest of the stuff was mostly ZX Spectrum animations, so yeah. Then we had the ZX Spectrum 256-byte intro, which had a lot of very good high-quality entries, and it had a very bad entry by me. It was my first time doing Z80 assembler, so I was kind of happy that I made something. People really didn't like it at the party place, though. I guess they're not very much fans of glitch art, but it is what it is. Anyways, the winner entry by Gogin was really cool, and I highly recommend you checking it out. Spin. I have no clue. Having learned Z80 recently, I have no clue how the hell this is done. Well, I have a vague clue that they use attributes for the stuff, but the way that they subdivide and the way that they do like additive color blending stuff, there's some extra trickery to it. Anyways, moving on, ZX Spectrum demo was won by Elysian State by Stardust, with Hush getting second place. Both of them were quite good. Also, the third place entry, Asterisks by the Super, was also pretty decent. So, solid little ZX Spectrum demo. Not as many entries as we would hope, but they were decent quality. Then we had the BK intro compo as well, which was won by Kuvo. And then the BK demo competition, which was won by CSI with a pretty decent demo as well. Got very high votes, and I actually saw it, and it was pretty good. Machinery robotic demo, I haven't seen this one, and I definitely should as well. Also, he has some high votes. Regardless, I'll put all the demos on the playlist, so if you can just go through the playlist, and you'll probably find them all there. And that's it for CAF Party, but we still have quite a few more parties that happened this month, and we're already 22 minutes in on the video, so let's keep going with TRSi. TRSi is a Danish demo party, has a long history, especially for its acid music competition. The organizers were a fan of acid, and it became a bit of a meme for the entire party. Anyway, this year again, hosted in Aarhus, Amiga intro competition was won by River Snake by Fnuke. Animation video It's the Lawn was won by Moods Plateau. Combined demo compo had some a couple of very good releases. Pharmageddon for Raspberry Pi, as we already mentioned, was really good, and honestly I thought it probably should have won the compo. Just Koshio was a Koshio and Funsprit remix, redo it, remake or follow-up. I think they improved the demo a little bit from the original meme, but it's pretty much a running meme on TRSi. Kvasigan did a fast demo as well. Not my favorite, but it had some good scenes in it. They had some decent music, but overall it felt a bit unpolished and unfinished. And then the Throwback Throw Up was made by Unstable Confusion, which is the guys behind Revision Organizing, Drogven, Defox, Sunspire, and Dojo. They did the demo and made in cables as well. It was pretty solid demo, actually. Some good artwork made with AI, but not like a cheap way to use AI. They actually used AI to design graphics in a way that still fit somehow the demo. So I think it was cleverly done, and still think Pharmageddon should have won because of the whole concept of doing it in a damn pharmaceutical sign, and it took good advantage of the sign thing. It almost felt like you didn't see the corners were cut in the sign. So I really think that Pharmageddon should have won. But you know, everyone has an opinion, and I have mine as well. Freestyle graphics was won by First Responders by Oni of Pooh Brain. Nice quality 3D thing. Then hand-drawn graphics was won by Luisa with the guy from The Godfather. Live acid music compo was won by Purix by just one single vote. CSJ almost had it. A lot of entries for the compo, and they mixed the music together, so it's like an hour or an hour and a half of dancing to acid music. It's a thing on TRSi. It's an established form. Old school music compo, not as many entries, was won by Kurt Cool. The PC intro compo had a very good winner entry, Acid Glow by Logicoma and Loonies. I really liked Acid Glow in the sense that it felt that it wasn't a 4K. It felt like it was like a 64K or something like that, because it went so long, and the music was good for the 4K, had this acid theme to it, and I believe Blueberry made a new synthesizer especially for this, and the visuals were okay. I mean, they were good. In my humble opinion, they didn't exactly fit the sound all that well, but I think it would really work, or it probably really worked well on the big screen. And I haven't seen it on the big screen. I only seen it on my screen at home, but it feels like it works better on a party system than it will work at home. I mean, the lights looked good, but it didn't feel like it completely fit the acid vibe. But it did have very long progression and solid on point, reuse of scenes to not be boring despite the track being quite long. So that was really well done. Then second place, Workplace Hazards. I didn't catch it when it was playing, so I haven't seen it yet. I'm really curious. I hope it gets released sometime soon. I don't think it's on scene.org just yet. And then the streaming music compo, also not many releases. It was won by Cyberpunk by Mono Magnus by 1 point over BitBear. And Mono Magnus again, so he won by 1 point over himself. So yeah, that was TRSi. A very cool party on Denmark. I've never been there, but I've seen the live stream quite a few times, and I heard the reports. People seem to have a lot of good time there, so highly recommend it. And I heard they will keep going. They were threatening to be the last version of TRSi, but I think they will have it again next year, after all. Then we had the Crunch in Poland, which was a smaller Amiga-based party happening in Poland, as I mentioned. Let's quickly go through the releases. Kadesh by the Electronic Knights is one of the bigger highlights. I haven't checked the other entries yet, have to do that soon, but some good variety for the Amiga demo compo. Then the Amiga Pixel Graphics was one with this entry by Slayer of Ghost Town. Supreme Inspiration got second place by Jock. We can also take a look at it, which is also pretty good. Nice pixel graphics there. Amiga Tracked Music, not many entries, was won by Robotized by Jazzcat. Executable Music, won by Party Blaster of Ace Man. Game Dev Competition, Chaos Arena by Last Minute Creations. Then the Intro Competition, won by Project Red. And the Wild Competition, not many entries again. Morph Ever by Encore won it. I haven't checked it yet, so I'm not sure if it's good or not. And the results don't seem to be listing the votes, so it's hard to have a comparative measure between each entry by just looking at the results. Anyways, do check out the releases. That was The Crunch. What else is there left to talk about? Oh, we had Zoo Party in Finland, which I thought it was like just a small party, but it turns out they had a lot of entries and a lot of good quality stuff. So and I actually caught the live stream for the most of it, so I do have some insight on the particular entries. The basic effect was very interesting. Most of the entries were actually generating the basic. I don't think that was written by hand. So it was very funny to see them list the basic thing. It was like completely unreadable basic, including just lines of characters to be used in animations and stuff like that. So it was a bit gimmicky, but cute and interesting to see at the same time. Cubicle by UPKR won in the end, doing some 3D effect, rotating or fake 3D effect animation. Then we had the demo compo, a very long demo compo, 19 entries, which is like paramount to what we see at X demo party. Commodore 64 people have this tendency to either do very small effects or do very big mega demos. So on these parties, we have a lot of entries, and it was a very long combo. They had to divide it in 2 parts. Anyways, the winner entry is a must-see mega demo by the same people that were behind the performers and the Santas. This one, it was themed around Halloween, so collaboration effort between many different active groups of the C64 scene. It was a really good demo, mega demo, 4 parts long, even has a playable game at the end. It was just ridiculous. Amazing graphics, amazing scenes, just mind-blowing. Still Rising by Artline and Bloodsuckers was also pretty decent. Artificial Intelligence by Finnish Gold was also solid. Skybox of Extent was also good. Feel Good by Gorbatsov was funny. Had a nice little quirk to it. A lot of good entries overall, but it didn't reach the mega demo status of Allow's Heave that these guys put together. They had an actual group name for it, which I think it was the Halloweens, the Hallowers, something like that. Anyways, very good compo, a lot of quality releases, and definitely check it out. Then we had the game competition, which was won by the Burger Ninja by Alexei Eben, which I personally didn't get why it won. The Tarot game seemed a lot more high quality in terms of graphics. Yeah, anyways, Burger Ninja won, Tarot got second place. Boulder Dash with crafting thingies mix up got third place, but it felt a bit unfinished. I didn't really see the objective of the game besides just walking around. And Night Trap got fourth place, which was also playable and quite decent. So overall, the entries were pretty good. Graphics compo, massive compo as usual for the Commodore 64 parties. Sulevi won with this entry, really good, high quality stuff. The Sarge entry was also pretty good. I remember Facette's entry was also pretty good. It's down here. A lot of high quality stuff. I'm going to show this one for the sake of being fair. And I'm going to show Girls on the Beach as well. Look at this. Wow, what a crazy style. Crazy stuff. A lot of high quality entries, and Zoo was known for having a good graphics competition, both graphics and Petsky. So this one didn't fail in that regard as well. Music compo was won by Zardax. Very long compo as well. I missed it on the stream, and I'm glad I did, because I wouldn't have survived listening to 26 SIDs. And then the Petsky compo was won by Deuce, Electric, and Junkie. Extend Zoo 2022. Landscape over there was particularly interesting, so I'm going to show that one as well. Very good use of the characters on this one. I was almost like, I could swear that this has to be converted. I mean, it looks so high quality. But the comment on the thing says that it was like painstakingly polished. So well done. Yeah, a lot of other good quality entries on the Petsky compo as well. I highly recommend you to check it out. And then there was the Wild compo, which had a good entry as well, the Bar Frog Tux for the PC Engine. The SID covers collection was okay as well. It was a music disc with a lot of famous pop music things being covered in SID. All the conversions were quite good though. The few tracks that they played, they all seemed very taking high advantage of the SID. But the winner entry for the PC Engine was a fair winner in my humble opinion. So that was Zoo, 250 people overall, very good. I was thinking it was a much smaller party on the Commodore 64, so I was very pleasantly surprised during the live stream, and the quality of the entries is also quite amazing. I hope I get like half of this for Inertia. Would make me a very happy person already. So that's it for Zoo Party. What else do we have to talk about? Benediction Coding Party, a small party happening in France, focusing on the CPC. Only 3 entries listed here. There are one more at least released on Puet as well. The Veteran Mega Demo by Impact, I think, not FMR CPC. Anyways, one more than on Demo Zoo. The official results aren't out yet because the party was happening until Monday. So I'm recording this. It's like 2 a.m. on Tuesday. So the party just ended. They haven't uploaded the results yet, but there should be more releases and proper releases. So we'll probably talk about Benediction Coding Party releases a bit more on the next video. For now, I'll just show you FMR CPC, which was a pretty good release by the Swedish MFX, as we like to call them, to make fun of Speaker, who hates it when we say that. What else do we have to talk about before we wrap up the video? The top of the month. It should be filled with a lot of goodies from the last month, as usual. Still a lot of stuff from Xenium and Deadline. Already some stuff creeping up from Trsak. In Memory of Math was released outside of Compos. Mod Player was with a Deadline. Back to the Pet that I mentioned, that was really worth checking out from Cuff Party. Raster and Servant, I believe, was from Deadline, but I'm not sure anymore. So yeah, worth checking out. I'm seeing if there's anything in particular that I have not mentioned before. Nordlicht, that was where it was released. Yeah, I think MD Mod was also released at Nordlicht. Let me check real quick. Yeah, Nordlicht. Okay. And I guess the MFX demo was also from... No, it's from Deadline. Okay. Anyways, doesn't matter. That was the top of the month. Hope you have seen... Well, use the link. Obviously, this was like a very brief overview of the thing, but the idea is that you can have this link and it lists directly all the productions so you can check them directly. Anyways, moving on to the last part that we have, the upcoming parties, and I am a little bit biased because it features Inertia Demo Party right away. Should actually be working on organizing stuff. I should be finishing packing what's behind me there, so we can take it to the party place and set things up. 4 to 6 of November happening in Lisbon. If you're in Lisbon, drop by. If you're not in Lisbon, we will have the live stream happening at scenecity.tv. Do check out, and hope you enjoy the competitions that we have. Then we have Syntax happening all the way in Australia. We have Demo Splash happening all the way in the United States, and a few other events happening still in Europe. Miss Data in Sweden. Demo Night 16 is just a gathering demo sceners from the Swiss demo scene to try to keep things a little bit active, showing some demos, and keeping the social people together. Experience demo party happening in Hungary later in the month, and then some stuff planned for the beginning of December as well. Special highlight to Transmission 64, which should be a very good C64 party as well. I wonder if a lot of people, like so many people released for Zoo, I wonder if they are also planning to have something for transmissions, like 1 month enough to have stuff for transmission as well. Let's see, stay tuned to find out. And then we have Sylventure in Poland, ATARI based party, and Posadas happening in Spain, which is an Amiga focused party. So yeah, still a lot of events happening. I believe there's going to be one more that's going to be announced for the end of the year, which used to be under construction, and then it was under deconstruction, whatever. It's going to be announced relatively soon. So these are the list of demo parties that you have to look forward to. Try to submit some entries for them, and check out the live streams, or attend physically if you can. So I believe that's it that we had for today for this month's report of Demoscene Report of October 2022. Hope the video was useful. As always, let me know in your comments below if I missed anything in particular that you thought was a worthy highlight of the month. Everything is on the links. The playlist will also be put online. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next party. See you at Inertia in a couple of days. See you next video at the end of the month, and see you around on Discord or Telegram or whatever you hang out that I'm also on. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Watch good demos. Enjoy the stuff. See you around. Take care.